Hello, teacher. My name is Jiang Shangxuan, and this is my final presentation. And this is my topic. It's the pure theory of public goods, and this is right by the Paul Samuelson in 1954. Okay, and then okay, I would divide this paper into four parts. And first is assumptions, and is introduce a basic assumption of this model. And the second one is optimal condition. The optimal condition is introduce the best points that the model want to uh, want to explain. And then the third one is impossibility of decentralized spontaneous solution. And the last one is conclusion. Okay. And the first one, assumption. And okay, because this paper is talking about the public goods, that is the collective consumption goods. So the authors divided the consumption good into two parts. And the first is private goods. As we all know that the goods that we own it and we can use it. And another one is collective goods. Okay, then we introduce these two different goods. The private goods means there is a type and wait a minute. Let me introduce this parameter first. Okay, there is a n type of private goods in the market that will parceled out among s different individuals, which means there's n kind of goods, and then a number of s people could buy it. Okay, and then it's a collective consumption goods. This is a public goods. So after another one using it, it's not any difference for me. So we can see that in this, we can see the xn plus j is equal to xin plus j. That means for the total public goods is equal to my public goods, and I mean the amount is the same. So it's different from private goods. Private good is the total xj is equal to the summation of all people's xj. So that is a kind of different, but it's a assumption of public goods. Okay, and then talk about the utility of individual. And the utility is ordinary preferences. Utility is that means the more is better. That means the more is better. So the partial ui partial xij is greater than 1. And then we'll define it as uij. And this utility is a smooth and convex function. Okay, and then the Pareto optimal point. And the model would pursue a Pareto optimal point, which means if another one people want to get better, that means there must exist the people that is get hurt after that one is getting better. Okay, so this is a Pareto optimal, and then the utility of society. And this define a capital U, which means which contains all of people's utility, like here U1 and blah 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 US. So it's everyone's utility combined, so being as a social's utility. Okay, and the partial U partial J means if someone's utility is getting better, then the whole social's utility is bigger. So the partial is bigger than 1. Okay, the second part is optimal conclusions. Conditions, I'm sorry. Optimal condition. Okay, and then as the original set. I'm sorry. As the original sets only contain equation 1 and 3, which define the Pareto optimal utility from 2. And that means if we have the function 1 and function 3, we can establish the Pareto optimal. And let me explain this function. It means MR is equal to MRT as we know. So the partial UI partial xj divide partial UI partial xr is equal to the partial f partial xj divide partial f partial xr, which means if the utilities ratio is equal to the costs ratio. Okay, and then the function 2 it means you can see the capital U is right here and is I, and this UI means the partial U individuals U, partial U partial K times the capital U means after a good K is given to I people, this I individual, then how much it will make the social better. So use the partial U partial K times the capital U. And so it divided the another one's partial, it will equal to 1, and this is 1. So which means if I have a good K, after if I am a social planner, if I give these goods to I people will equal to I give these goods to K people. Okay, and as a second equation added, it constitutes the pure theory of government expenditure collective goods. That is, we can now to count the collective consumption goods. Okay, and then the second function is because the public goods should be horizontally added. So this is a summation of all the people for all the people's utility for these collective goods. So we need to summarize it and compare to the R, which R is a private goods. As we can see right here, the R is 1 to N, and this N kind of private goods, M is the public goods. So if we summarize all the public goods utility is a marginal utility, divided the private goods utility will equal to the cost of public goods utility because it's N plus J. So it's a public good, and this FR is a private good. So this means the benefits on the utility ratio for public goods above private good will equal to the cost for public goods and private goods above private goods. So it means the utility of for the public good should be summarized. Okay, and the third one, impossibility of decentralized spanner's solution. Okay, as we said, um, we can solve this balance if we are omniscient. And means we knows all the knowledge, we knows all people's utility. And what is this on the title? It means we have like a supercomputer at that time is because it's published at 1954. So they didn't have a greater computer to solve this problem. So they they want to use a supercomputer, a calculating machine to solve this problem. They know they can solve it, but it's too much and it's a mathematic problem for them. Okay, so if we want to use this, we need three conditions. The first is production function satisfies neoclassical assumptions of constant return to scale and generalized diminishing returns. Okay, and the second one is individual's utility is convex. Third one, all goods are private. On this condition, they only set it as a private good rather than with a public good because it will make it more complexly. Okay. Okay, and then the government will put your budget as a lump sum tax, and that means you're a social planner, and after you know how the markets work and how the price, how the amount they will buy, then you use this data as a social planner to tax them and then give them the same amount of goods, which will make it better because the market will gradually meet the profit maximized and the cost minimized. Okay. And then it's a difficulties. Since there's a free rider, if someone needs this public goods, but they will say, in order to maximize their profits, they will say, "Oh, I don't need it," because he or she know, another person needed more, so he will wait for him to buy these goods for everyone. So even using the voting or signaling is not valid because of the free rider would hide their interest. It will not tell you how wants they are. Okay, and then another is the individual's utility could not be found. It's not easy to found, and also contain private goods and also the public goods. Okay, and the three equation added the one plum could have explicitly said of all goods. Um, it's it's a kind of something like we can solve this problem, but we cannot really find a number. It's like they can solve it, but you can't really find it. Yeah, it's just like the above say it's a mathematic problem. Okay. Okay, and the last conclusion. And the last conclusion is that um, it's a beginner of the public goods and for the collective consumption goods. So there is more and more people getting started to investigate in this area's problem. And it may turn out to be a pure luck that in the general domain there happen to be a subsector with a simple property of additional economics. So it's a 1954 paper, so it's a beginner of the public goods. So they gradually become a like of official economic for government to make decisions. Okay, so and this is my final presentation. If there's any problem, please write email or anything that can contact me. That I will do more explain for the problem and for the question, even for the function, if I can. Okay, thank you.